Should we get started?
Yeah, let's get into it.
All right. Hello, welcome to our little corner of the internet where we talk about stuff.
Hello.
Hi, this is Moon. And I am T. Those are our birth names.
Yes.
That's what my mom named me.
Yes, absolutely.
And it's not the letter T, it's like the drink tea.
Yeah.
And we don't need to interpret Moon. Like they were
Your
thinking,
full name is Earl Grey Tea.
Yeah, I'm an Earl, first of all. My first name is Grey, like the anime character.
And I mean, like, your full name and title is a bit much.
I don't want to be intimidating.
Yeah. You want to be approachable.
So, today,
right.
The shtick that we've decided to do is talk about things because we're chatty like that. And today, kicking it off with a very popular game that's gotten some pretty mixed reviews over its, I don't know, how long it's been out, like 8 months maybe? 7 months?
Oh, I don't know.
Not
Something
a super
like
long
that.
time compared to some of the games I play. But it's Jedi Fallen Order!
Woo.
Yay! We're both fans of the game, but we can acknowledge its faults and its flaws, like any game that EA produces.
I think you mean every game.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, we're gonna just start off with the story. What do we think of the story? Because we're both into writing. We both like making fun of TV shows.
Mm-hmm.
So we consider ourselves top-notch critics of what a good story is. I watch a lot of
Absolutely.
Brian David Gilbert. So
Our role model.
Yeah, exactly. We're qualified for this.
Yeah.
So yeah, don't worry, we'll get into gameplay later. But
Yes.
we're lore freaks.
We will eventually.
So yeah, like I think I really like the time slot they pick for this game.
Honestly, yeah, it's a really interesting time slot.
Yeah, 4 years after the purge. There are spoilers, by the way. If you haven't played the game
Oh yes.
yet, it's your fault. So this is about to be ruined for you.
Yes.
Because everything in the movies and in the shows is either Clone Wars or it's the Galactic era, or it's the sequels.
Yes.
There's like 3 slots you can have. So for this game to take place, you know, kind of between the 2 merging points, and from, you know, sometimes I feel like Cal looks at the situation from the outside in, because he's so physically removed from the situation. Right. The only time he's coming into contact with like the power of the Empire is at the beginning at his job, the barge.
Yes, his glamorous job.
Exactly. And then Trilla, pretty much, or anytime there's an Inquisitor. So, you know, he's kind of on like these strange little planets far away from everyone else.
Right, he's kind of like us, honestly, just like watching it happen.
Like he's the viewer, basically, watching the events.
Exactly. He's the viewer, but like obviously like in the world.
I mean, he's kind of on a path for himself.
Yeah.
And when everyone else is like, we're gonna join a cause. Yeah, and I really love his design. Like, I've seen a lot of people on like Reddit who aren't, they don't like Cal's design. People didn't like him because he was ginger.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, people were like, I don't like him because I don't like his gingerness. People get mods to make him not ginger, and I'm like, what is wrong with you?
Excuse me?
I don't know, if you want to get a mod for the game, do an Inquisitor pack or something cool.
Yes, please.
We stand Inquisitor Cal Kestis in this house.
Yes, we do.
EA, if you're watching this, can we have more, like, dark, sad, angsty Cal moments in the second game? Thank you. I was thinking about the game the other day, and there are, like, mostly female characters besides Cal. It's mostly female.
Oh, that's a good point.
And I think the fact that I didn't realize that until making a point to think about it is really good. That's great. Because so many times the female character is nothing more than a female character.
Right.
And it drives me nuts.
Yeah.
You can't stop thinking about the fact she's a woman because of how they write. I'm not going to name any fictional names here, but I think that's a really common issue right now with the attempt to be progressive or whatever. But yeah, Marin is not a woman. She's a survivor of the massacre.
Right.
Trilla's not a woman. She's a badass inquisitor who gets nerfed by Vader. That's a proper lifestyle right there.
Honestly, yeah.
And Seer cracks me up. I know she's not supposed to be funny.
Yes.
But her eyes.
Oh my gosh, I couldn't get over her eyes.
I think she's a really cool mentor character, and I like how she ends up in the end and all that. But oh my gosh, if it's focused on Cal or Marin or Greaves or something, you see her in the background, her eyes just get wider and wider.
Just her eyes.
She's always watching. Okay, so who is your favorite character out of the game?
Marin.
Why was it Marin? Would you like to elaborate on
that? Sure, I can elaborate, I guess, if you want me to. I found her character design very interesting. I found her backstory really fun. Mm-hmm. Really fun, really interesting. The Night Sisters of Dathomir, obviously there's stuff for them, but they're not heavily explored, and especially not in the sense of not quite a main character, but a sort of main character, you know?
Yeah, I mean
a reoccurring character, I should say.
I mean, no one knows about the Dathomir sisters unless you watch the Clone Wars. Everyone knows the Dathomir men because of Darth Maul.
Right.
And I think he might be the only Dathomirian to be in one of the mainstream movies. I could be wrong. Mm-hmm. There could be a background character I'm missing out on, but character-wise, who gets screen time, he's the only one. So to have a supporting character who was from Dathomir and to be involved in such a dark arc from the Clone Wars was super dope.
Yes, that was fabulous. It was already cool enough that they included a Night Sister of Dathomir, but the fact that it was a survivor of such a horrible event, it was great.
Yeah. Any character you didn't like? You can say no. That's an acceptable answer.
I don't, there's none that, I didn't dislike. I didn't like Seer as much. Mm-hmm. But, I didn't dislike her. She wasn't I didn't enjoy her character as much. I still enjoyed it, but not to the extent of most of the others.
Yeah.
I didn't dislike
ruin the
her.
game for you.
Exactly, I absolutely didn't, and I definitely don't dislike her.
I was super into her when she was with Trilla, backstory-wise, and at the finale of the game.
Yes.
She had more of a stake in the plot.
Yeah.
Which was really fun.
That was.
So yeah. We all know my favorite. I kind of fell in love with Cal.
Kind of.
A little bit.
Just a smidge.
Yeah, I want to propose to this boy. But I really loved watching a male character struggle with his feelings and emotions.
Yes.
And not just in an angsty Anakin-esque way where they just clench their jaw and kick the crap out of somebody. He has an actual conflict with I don't know, his form of PTSD, the loss of his master, and seeing him actually break down both in the flashback of Order 66 as a kiddo.
Oh gosh.
And then again after Dathomir. I don't know, it was nice. He's a softie, but that doesn't take away from the fact that he can still kick your ass.
Oh, absolutely.
His emotions, which is so bizarre because he's a Jedi, but his emotions are his like companion. You know, at least in my opinion. These aren't facts. These are opinions.
No, this is just all our very humble opinion.
Okay, let's go on to gameplay.
Ooh, gameplay.
Because we can talk about characters and stories forever.
Yeah. That's the writer in us.
Yeah, exactly. So, you know, when it comes down to, it's not a cutscene, it's not lore-based. You're on Zepho killing stormtroopers. I played PC, you played it on console.
Yep.
So that's a nice diverse...
yeah, we're coming from two slightly different experiences.
Yeah. So, how did it... Because I think the game is originally for console.
Yeah, I think it was originally made for PS4.
Yeah, okay. So...
Which is what I played it on.
Okay, so let's hear your opinion first. When you were fighting those nasty, nasty stormtroopers...
Nasty boys.
Did you find that the controls, the buttons and all that jazz, it was easy to fight? Because it's one of those games like Assassin's Creed where you have to hit the right buttons to perform the correct attacks and more powerful attacks.
Right.
You can't just swing around. It's not Skyrim.
No, unfortunately. No. So I didn't have many actual problems with gameplay. It's like any new game, obviously. Like, the first, few hours you play it, it's gonna be pretty clumsy because you're still getting used to how the character moves, how, the attack timing works, how the controls all work. So it was a little bit rough. All in all, I would say playthrough was easier than some of my other games.
Yeah. Rated 1 out of 10. 10 is... you looked forward to the fighting sequences, and 1 is you would ask somebody else to play it for you if you could.
I would probably rank it a solid 7.5. Really depends on the planet. Because, some of the planets, I was like, yeah, no, fighting is no problem. Other of the planets, looking at you, Kashyyyk, was like, could I not? I wasn't, looking for a fight, ready to, jump in and, go for it most of the time. But, I wasn't dreading it either.
Yeah. Giant obese toad. That thing killed me so many times, and then I realized I had my game on full difficulty, so I turned that down.
Oh gosh, you started on full difficulty?
I did. I didn't realize.
Oh dear.
I was lost in Kestis' eyes. Yeah, I'm probably with you on I think ease of fighting. I would probably put it at a 9.
Okay.
Control wise. It took me such a long time to deal with Trilla. You were there for that.
Yeah.
That takes a really long time. It takes some warming up. Okay, so next, let's do most of the game is this. It's climbing. This is our next topic. I've got 3 things for us to rate and share opinions on before we do an overall opinion and wrap up the episode. So next is climbing. So what did you think of climbing? And did you have fun climbing?
I had a lot of fun climbing, actually.
I did too.
It took me the first I think it was by the second planet, halfway through it, where I really got the hang of climbing. If you don't quite pay attention to how it works, it can be tricky the first few times.
Mm-hmm.
But once you realize what you have to do and how to do it and everything, then it's a lot of fun.
And once you get those little claws and Dathomir, you can go
yes. Oh my gosh. Listen, those claws were like one of my favorite things in the game. I was so excited about
It's
this.
so awesome. Yeah, the only thing with climbing that was sometimes kind of a bother was sometimes you would get somewhere and you weren't sure where to go next.
Yeah.
It was hard, and
Yeah.
that's like a fork in the road for me, because part of me really likes that because it feels more realistic. Like, of course,
Yeah.
the grip would be blended into the vines around me because this is supposed to be a jungle. And the part of me that was playing a game and stuck was like, this is really annoying.
Yeah.
So I'd probably give it like a 9 overall.
Yeah.
It depends.
I feel like that's pretty good.
Where you're at.
It definitely, a lot of this for me depends on the play.
Yeah. Okay. The last thing is gonna be very fun. Puzzles. We both just immediately have war flashbacks to those damn puzzles.
we have some PTSD.
Yeah.
About the puzzles.
Everyone does. Zepho.
Ugh.
Those damn spheres. Do you know how long it took me to get off Zepho for the first time?
I was very lucky. It would have taken me at least twice as long otherwise. Like, those stars.
I pulled up like so many articles on like IGN.
Yes!
I was like, save me, please. I've been doing this for 4 years.
Walkthroughs are your friend.
Yes. So, and I think the puzzles themselves are really cool concepts. But I think when it comes to figuring out what the hell you're supposed to be doing, it was the worst part of the game.
I wouldn't,
Like, I'm gonna
actually, it was.
I can't even.
Because, like, I enjoyed the concept of the puzzles a lot. I felt like it could have been really great. But, like, I feel like they also could have made it clearer.
I feel like there was a missing piece to that process. You know, like, why wasn't there, like, a way to meditate and, like, sense the next thing to do? Or, you know, like, BD1 could give you hints or something like that, but it was like, I think we're supposed to move these spheres. And you're like, yeah, duh. Like, that's what I've been trying to do. But, like, I'm going back to Skyrim, because that's the other game we've been talking about a lot, and everyone's played Skyrim. Like, when you go into those tunnels with, like, the ebony claws, or the coral claws, or whatever, and, you have to...
The claws.
Yeah, you have to rotate the circles to get the right animals. Like, owl, snake, whale,
the golden dragon claw thing?
Yeah!
Yeah!
They have hands for you on the walls.
Yes.
And on the bottom of the claw, if you turn the claw over, you have your answer.
Well, for a lot of the puzzles, they have clues along the wall or like somewhere in the room.
Exactly. I think, and it doesn't make the puzzles any less fun because I didn't lament over them for a half hour. So just some more guidance. What would you rate this on a scale of 1 to 10?
The puzzles?
Yes, the puzzles. The process of the puzzles.
The process of the puzzle. I would probably say 8.
Really?
Yeah.
I would probably give him like a 6.8.
A solid 6.8.
Yeah, because it didn't ruin the game for me. Like, I'm still gonna go back, and now that I know what I'm doing, I can go through that no problem, right? But it did take away my enjoyment from the game for a period of time.
Right. Yeah, see, and I don't know. It could be because I asked you for help and you offered me advice. It could be because I tend to not have as much difficulty with puzzles in games.
Yeah, well, this
is like, I didn't find it. So. Yeah, I didn't find it, like, as horrible, I guess. I also didn't struggle with it for as long, so.
Yeah. I just had to figure it out on my own, because at first I was like, don't look it up, and then day 2 I was like, I'm looking it up, I don't care anymore. Enough about the stuff we didn't like. Before we wrap up, let's just do, like, what part of the game did you just love? Like, what was it could be a cutscene, it could be a puzzle, it could be a challenge or something, like what part of the game would you play over and over again?
In terms of like planets and playing and everything, I would say Dathomir was probably my favorite. Like I could sit and I could play Dathomir over and over and like explore that entire planet and love every minute of it. And then I would say in terms of cutscenes, my favorite cutscene was when Cal is in that ice water.
Oh yeah.
Remember that? Before like you build your lightsaber and like he sees little him and like BD1 and like I love that cutscene so much.
It's so beautiful. It's so pretty. Like the game looks amazing.
Oh gosh, the game is gorgeous.
I mean, there's some funky things, but that's what happens when you do like a 25-hour game. It's gonna look funky, man. That's just part of the deal.
Yeah.
So those are your two.
I would say those are my two. Yeah.
Okay. I think I'm gonna go with two now.
Okay.
I think my favorite part of the game, and I was reading about this online the other day, apparently not everybody gets this. If you don't do the right steps, you don't get the arena fight.
What?
The arena, so if you don't, you run into these people, I forget where you're at, I think you're on Zepho. No, you land on that planet and Grease is like, oh, I gambled here and so no one likes me. I totally forget how you end up there, but you run into these people and then you get knocked out and you wake up in this prison cell and BD1's
I
on.
Forgot about that.
Yeah, so that's probably my favorite. I freaking love stuff like that. Going back to the Elder Scrolls, I love getting kidnapped by the Dark Brotherhood because it's just spooky every single time and I love that. And then then the arena fight, it's just really cool. You can't go wrong with like an arena moment. Everyone loves those. So that's one of my favorite parts to play through, I think. But I love the flashbacks and the gameplay with him as a Padawan.
Oh, those are good.
I'm gonna narrow it down to that one time that clone called him Kiddo or something, like called him Buddy or something like that, and like gave him a high five. Something like that happens, and I died inside because I'm also a huge clone fan. I love the entire clone army.
See, that part of the flashback was absolutely precious. The flashback itself was severely painful.
Yes. Yeah. I agree. So I think we can both agree we love Jedi Fallen Order. Despite its flaws.
Yes.
I think flaws and stuff make it more fun. I don't know. I don't get upset when movies I want to not suck because I'm like, oh, okay. I have something to make fun of it now in a fond way.
Yeah. And like, it's fun too because each individual game has its own little quirk.
Exactly.
You know.
And I think this is one of the more well-received games over the last year or two. Like I see very little backlash about this game. Like Battlefront 2 got a ton of backlash when it came out.
Yeah.
I didn't end up playing it because I was like, I don't want to spend money on a game that no one likes.
Oh, you didn't? Okay, that's fair.
Yeah. But I ended up getting a bunch of Steam gift cards for Christmas, so I ended up buying this game, and it was like one of the best parts of my 2020, which is not hard to be a good part of this year. All you have to do is not suck, and you get like a top 5 placement.
Yeah. Just don't suck, and you'll get a good rating.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not that hard, guys.
Yeah. So we both had recently played the game, and we wanted to be the first topic we covered because it's fairly relevant, and because it's Star Wars related, I can plug it on my editing account.
Yeah.
So if you want to follow me there, the link is in the description. Alrighty, guys. The 3 people who are watching this, thank you for stopping by our little corner of the internet. I have no idea how frequent these will be. No. Hopefully frequent enough because that means I have free time. So So yeah, thanks for tuning in. Let us know what you think about the game in the comments. And see you next time. Thank you for joining me, Mooney.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for doing this.
Thank you for joining me. Yes! Thank me. Love that.